What's up, YouTube? This is Damon, aka the world's worst magician, and today I'll be bringing you a review of Cody Nottingham's latest effect called ground control. So the basic premise of it is spectator says stop. You show him the card, right? Sorry, I am right hand dominant, so that would be their card, and then basically you put it out, put it back in, and then you are able to control it to the top. You can actually control it to wherever you want. You can kind of pick, 6th position or 10th position, 14th, like whatever. You can kind of control that bit. And then the second part of it is, say you have 2 aces, you can again have them, pick a card. And then that card, I'm not going to do the effect here, but basically what would end up happening is you just turn it over, and then the aces disappear into the deck to find their card. And once it finds it, then you'll see that it's their card trapped in between the 2 aces. Or you can pick whatever you want. It doesn't have to be 2 aces. You can make it 2 queens or whatever you want, just your key cards. So, I guess, as always, I'll start with the negative impacts. One of the negatives that this is just a website thing. This has nothing to do with his effect. I purchased it, and then they didn't actually have the tutorial video. Like, you could select it, but it would just play the trailer again. So I wrote Ellusionist about that, and hopefully that'll get updated and nobody else goes through that. But the workaround for me was that I just downloaded the file, and it actually had the tutorial built in. I apologize. Just got finished traveling, so I'm still getting over something. But yeah, so again, that has nothing to do with Cody Nottingham or his effect. That was just for the Ellusionist website. It was just a little quirk, if you will. So anyways, let's talk about the control. What are the negatives? The biggest negative that I have with it is the click, deck click. When you do the move, there is a very audible click. I'm doing this with the Guy Hollingworth Burgundy edition, and I was just trying it out with these, and there is less of a click because the cards are a little bit thinner and a little bit more pliable. So with a thicker deck, so I bought this effect, and I've been doing it, since yesterday. I mean, it's been a while. Like, all the way home on the flight, I was working on it and just coming up with new ideas about it. But that's kind of the biggest thing. The other thing is that there's kind of an awkward pause. Even if you watch the trailer, and I'll leave a link in the description so you can see it. But when he does the not the sandwich effect, just the first effect, there's a pause when the move happens, and there's really no explanation. So again, if you're a normal magician, you're used to talking to the crowd and kind of filling it in, so you're gonna have to find something there, but it's just kind of an awkward pause while the move happens, because there's real, like, he goes into a move where, you flip the top card over to say, hey, you see it's not at the top, but during that, there's just, it's just a very awkward silence, and the move itself is slightly awkward. I mean, it took me a little while to get it down. He shows you step by step how to do it, which is always awesome. You just have to get a feel for it yourself, as far as making it work. And like I said, the deck click, you can even hear it when he does it. So if you're in a noisy environment, it's not really that big a deal. If you're in a closed room, then you're just going to have to figure out how you can either minimize that or just be talking when it happens, so that it's not like, hey, what was that noise? What just happened? That kind of thing. Excuse me. Really, that's the only negative that I have. I mean, it's actually a really cool concept. It's a great move. For the single, when he does it, I didn't really like that version. I just don't, I don't know. It doesn't feel like, he says it flows, but I didn't feel like it really flows into doing a move. But I was able to come up with some concepts. I mean, you can work in like an invisible palm or, something like that into when you do the 1-card routine. And then I think you can make that a really strong effect. The sandwich, I really, really like that concept. Because not only are you, you have your 2 sentinels, and then what's going to happen is when you do the first move, one of the sentinels is going to disappear. So it'll end up, this will be gone, right? So it'll look like this, where there's nothing underneath. Then you take this and do a move, and that disappears. And then now your 2 sentinels are somewhere in the deck. And again, you can choose where they are in the deck, and they have found the spectator's card. So to me, that was a lot stronger effect, and I came up with a different way to do it. Because when he does it, and again, it's all in your performance, right? Like, it's just how you want to do it. But when he does it, the spectator's card is still sticking out when he does the first move, and then the sentinel disappears, and then he pushes it in and says, okay, now this one's going to go looking for it. And to me, I feel like before you push in that card, you should say something about, okay, now this is it's gonna go try to find your card, right? So you push it in, and at the same time you push it in, one sentinel disappears. To me, that made more sense. But again, that's just my mind. So it's just the feedback that I had, and it's the way that it kind of flowed a little bit better for me, because then it made more sense. Like, I'm pushing in their card, and then all of a sudden at the exact same time, one sentinel disappears, and then, you know, you turn it over, boom, they're both gone, and now it's in the deck. So to me, that flowed a little bit better. But overall, for I think it's like $5 right now. It's a great effect. It's a little bit knacky, so you'll have to get your hands used to it. I will say that I'm left-handed, so I'm right-hand dominant when it comes to, like, if I'm doing, you know, Charlie A cut or something like that. I do most of that with my right hand. So the difficult piece is when you tell them to pick a card, like, I would normally do this and move it over, but the problem with that is the pip's on the bottom. So some people can still see it, but the effect is a lot better if you can do it with your left hand, because when you push it over, they can see that card. So that's just a little thing. That's on me. That's not on him, but it is designed to be pushed over with your left hand so they can see it, versus being pushed over with your right hand where they might not be able to see it because the pip's on the bottom, upside down, I guess you would say. So overall, strong move, great thing to add to your collection. A little bit knacky, so just give it some time, but I really think that you can come up just with some cool things to do in the middle of it, because you can do it with any deck, and there is no setup involved. So, you know, spectator picks a card, you pick it out, and then, you know, do your thing. So I think it's just a good utility to throw in there and just, you know, have another move in your bag. All right, well, that has been my review of Cody Nottingham's ground control, and I will see you soon. All right, see ya. Well, I hope you liked that review. And if you have any questions, magic tricks, or decks that you want to see reviewed, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. As always, I would greatly appreciate it if you would click that like button and subscribe for any future reviews. All right, see ya.